Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is now 2021, so I hope you all had a good Christmas and a good New Year's, and obviously effing the comments for 2020. Rip, it's gone. We're moving on, hopefully forward for the better. I know 2020 was a bit of a crappy year for a lot of people, but I'm not going to go into that right now. So, I thought we'd start the new year off on a really, hopefully, a positive note. In the sense that this is a sanctuary update. We did our first one towards the end of the last year, but obviously with Christmas and New Year, and I've got two kids, and obviously a job, and the PlayStation 5 coming out, and running a YouTube as well. All these different aspects have kind of slowed me down in my development. But this year, I'm kind of determined to push on and do loads, and hopefully I'll do kind of fortnightly updates from now on, and you'll see lots of different changes as time goes on. So this is going to be probably the main staple of my channel now going forward for a little while, until we kind of get a big chunk of this kind of ironed out. There's not too much to show, actually physically show in this episode, because over the Christmas period I've done a lot of kind of background lore, a lot of planning, map building, and I've found a concept artist now who's hopefully going to help to kind of visualize a lot of things, so that when we go into the kind of production stage in Unreal, it speeds our time up. We've also got a guy on board to do the music for the game. I've also got another friend who's also doing a lot of the background kind of mythology and lore aspects with me as well. So I've kind of managed to grab a few people on board to hopefully help speed things up a little bit in a lot of different areas that otherwise would have probably slowed me down quite a lot. So hopefully in the next few weeks of updates, you'll see a lot of those sort of things. I'll show off a few of those bits so you can kind of get an idea of what's to come. Sanctuary itself, so things that weren't here before, the elder tree that you see here, that wasn't here last time, and we can actually go inside of that at the moment. I've just started doing the inside, but it is a bit bare, but I will show you that in a moment. We've now got lots of pathways. Now these are subject to change. I might neaten them up a little bit, or make them a little bit smaller, and I'll play around with them a little bit as time goes on, as I start building things up. I do apologize about the frame rate, only because I'm running the capture software at the same time, so it's slowing things down a little bit. So I do apologize if the video is a little bit jumpy. You'll see on my Unreal at the top there, it says I'm getting about 20 frames per second. It's not true. It's just because I'm running a lot of other equipment at the same time. So yes, we've got our little huts. You'll see these got these open doorways. That will change. These will be like the elder tree. They'll be black, and you'll go into them and it'll load up the individual house. That's again to save processing power, so I'm not filling every world up and making massive houses and stuff for the sake of it. We've got our waterfall over here that we showed. I don't know if the waterfall was there. The river definitely was. I've added some stones in there just to kind of make things look a little bit more excuse me, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. We've got our rock jump there, which will be pushed back, widened up over the river, and I'm planning on kind of having like a log up here that has a swing rope, because the swing ropes will be part of the game's mechanics. I've decided, so yeah, you'll see that going forward. There's going to be like a little wooden bridge as well, so if you don't want to take the swing rope, you can just take the bridge along. I do apologize, this is being awfully slow. It's the recording equipment. So this is kind of what it looks like from this angle. You can see the elder tree there. It is kind of the centerpiece of Sanctuary. You won't really need to go in there too much. I mean, you can, but to be perfectly honest, apart from doing the few odd side quests here and there within this world, you won't really need to do too much exploring unless you want to be a completionist. There'll be collectibles and stuff around and about. There'll be enough to do in this area that'll keep you entertained, probably I'd say for about half an hour to an hour max. We've got a little shop down here. This is one of the areas you'll have to come in at the beginning to progress the main story. and there's a few extra little cool bits you can do in and around this shop, just to get you used to kind of like the buying and the inventory management sort of things to be set up. And there's a load of more houses. The protagonist's house will be probably in this area, forcing you kind of to travel around a lot. But yeah, as I said, as time moves on, you'll see all this kind of unfolding as we add and remove things going forward. But this is the basic layout. So I've kind of spent a bit of time deciding how I wanted to lay out Sanctuary. I'm pretty happy with the size of Sanctuary now, I think. I mean, you'll see in a minute, it still does take a little while to get around, but I think with a bit of tweaking in terms of player speeds, that will it'll improve. So the next thing I for Sanctuary, so excuse me, sorry, winter cold, you know, not Corona, don't worry, it's winter cold, bit stuffy. When you when you first kind of exit your house, I think I'll make it one of these 3 or 4, well, one of these 5 here. It'll probably be this one. So when you exit your house, the one thing you'll notice from the starting point in this cliff area here is that there's people walking around. There's people there'll be like quests outside of people's houses that you can go and accept and decide to do. But you'll have like people coming out of the forest, like walking along and heading places, and it'll feel like Sanctuary is alive and is lived in. The same as if you were to enter a game in any other town, a town in any other game, sorry, and run around. It will feel a bit like that, but maybe just not on kind of like a mass scale, you know. But this will definitely have a lot of hustle and bustle going around it as you explore. I don't want players to spend too long in here, so I think the max there's going to be in the starting area is around about 10 side quests that will give you XP, so you can start leveling up your player as and when you're ready. You'll also receive money for doing those quests, and you'll be able to buy things. So you'll start to get a feel of the skill tree before you leave Sanctuary, and you'll also start getting a feel of the inventory before you leave Sanctuary. I think those two things were kind of important to me, so that you're not learning this stuff when you're in fights and things like that, and after, you know, when you're in the thick of things. I don't want to ruin the immersiveness by you having to try and work out and learn how to do things on the fly. So this will kind of serve as your first half of your training, or your training process in this game. When you just leave this area, as you kind of go into the forest, no spoilers obviously, but that'll kind of then start your second half of your tutorial training before you enter what I consider to be the main game. It's not going to be the longest game. It's not planned to be the longest game, but there's definitely going to be a lot of side questing and kind of exploring for you to do. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to showing you more as and when I have that to show. The last thing I'm going to show you is, as I said, I've got a gentleman working on the video game for me. He's currently working on the main menu music, so I thought I'd mock up a little quick main menu feature for everybody to sort of take a look at. Let me just change some settings. So we want it to be to the default player start. And when we click play, it might not load up on your screen. No, it's loading up on mine. Let me pull it over. You've kind of just got this. Oh, you can't see it. Bear with me. Let me just amend that. There we go. Just to finish off this episode, I'll show you. So as the game loads up, you would have typically your it would show up all like the different developers, will give you a bit of information, your terms of service and copyright information, all that sort of stuff would like fly up on the screen, and they would bring you to your main menu, which this is going to be my main menu. This is taking you can see the trees are moving and stuff. This is because it's taking a live rendering of the scene from the game. So when you load up, this will be the rendering you'll receive. Excuse me. And you'll have your 3 options of loading up your save state, or continuing game, and obviously starting a new game, or your options, which obviously, again, this is all just placeholder and stuff. I mean, this will be completely different when you come to it, but it'll look hopefully a hell of a lot more professional. This is just a placeholder for now, so that I can trial out the music and start doing different bits and bobs as and when I kind of receive it. But you can just click start game. The idea is that there'll be like a few cutscenes that play out, and you won't start here. Obviously, I've just done this so that you can kind of walk into here. You've got a loading screen again, all subject to change at this point, and then you've got inside the Elder Tree. Again, it's a bit bare bones at the minute, but the idea is I want it to be a little bit bare bones. It's meant to be kind of just a place that the Elder kind of resides in. There'll be some more lanterns going around the outside, and a couple of guards stood in here holding post. There'll be a chair up here, and the Elder will be sat up here kind of waiting to entertain people as and when. So it is kind of essentially just a meeting room for the Elder to hold council for the subjects of Sanctuary. That's why you won't really see too much of it, except in a few cutscenes and things. And that's... oh, why did it load up that again? Interesting. But yeah, so that is essentially the start of the game. I just exited Unreal by accident. My apologies. But that is where we're at the moment. There's still a lot of stuff to sort of do. I've got a long list, you know, a list as long as probably both my arms of stuff I still need to do for Sanctuary alone before I get to move on to the next area. Obviously things like AI movements and dialogue boxes and quests and save states all still need to go into the game. The music will then also be applied, and I still need to provide a few cutscenes. I still need to design the characters and put those in instead of our Unreal mannequins. So all these things will change sort of as the weeks go on, and then hopefully we'll start adding in some new areas, some enemies to fight, things like that. So yeah, keep an eye out for the next video. I hope to, as I said, probably in about 2 weeks time we'll have another dev update. I'm hoping to do a few other videos around the Oculus as well in the meantime, and until then, stay safe, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.